Well, good morning, everybody. We are here on Facebook and YouTube Live talking about the upcoming lake effect snowstorm that we have in the forecast. That's going to be going into, say, this weekend, and some of us are going to be seeing quite a bit of snow as well. So just so you know, I'm looking at the Kris Hudson Facebook page and the 7 News Facebook page, so if there's questions on either one of those, I will be able to stop and answer those. If you're asking questions on YouTube, I cannot see those. So make sure that you are going to Facebook eventually to ask those questions. And if it's not live, I see the questions commented, I will do my best to answer those. But once again, there's thousands of you, one of me, so that can be difficult at times. And also know that we do have updates posted continuously on our website, WWNYTV.com. So if this isn't live, you're looking for more details, and I'm not answering your question, you can also check our website for those details. But we'll go ahead and get into some of our maps here and go start talking about things. And the first thing to talk about for you is we do have this lake effect snow warning in effect for Jefferson, Lewis, and Oswego counties. That goes from 7 a.m. on our Friday to 7 p.m. on Monday. Notice St. Lawrence County, though. You guys are not included in this. I would expect that to change. I believe southern St. Lawrence County and potentially the northwestern portion of St. Lawrence County will be included in that as well. Messina, though, I don't think you're going to see much of anything from this, maybe a couple flurries at times, but you should stay primarily in the clear. But anywhere from Ogdensburg south, at times you will see the lake effect snow if you're in St. Lawrence County. Jefferson County, our river communities of Cape Vincent, Clayton, Orleans, and Alexandria Bay, you're going to see a little bit of lake effect snow at times as well. So all of this is for pretty much all of us. I see a couple people asking about snowfall totals and things like that. We're going to get to that here in just a second, but kind of walking you through what we're looking at. With timing this out, notice, excuse me, tomorrow morning, 4 a.m., lake effect snow trying to get going. It's disorganized, but slowly getting there. Temperatures tonight dropping down into the 20s for lows, and then as we go throughout the morning hours tomorrow, lake effect does get organized as it starts moving up our way. Even Watertown, Fort Drum, Carthage areas getting impacted by this lake effect snow. And if you're out towards, say, Lowville, you're also going to be seeing at Croghan, seeing a little bit of lake effect snow at times, Harrisville as well. Continuing throughout the day, notice that lake effect snow continues. It does move north towards Watertown, maybe even a little bit further north at times. So even the river communities will have the possibility of getting in on some of this lake effect snow at times on Friday. Friday into Friday evening, the lake effect snow really becomes intense as it continues to organize for us, and then it's going to settle anywhere from Watertown down towards Mansville, Lorain, Worth. So anywhere from Watertown south to the county line of Oswego County, we have the chance of seeing that lake effect snow there, especially as we get towards tomorrow evening and into Saturday. My apologies, Facebook's kind of messing up on my end here with comments, so if there's comments, I'm not able to see them at the moment. Hopefully I can get those back. But nonetheless, we can see that as far as what we're expecting for snowfall totals, yes, quite a bit of snow is on the way. We're talking the potential for 40 inches or more of snow. The majority of this will be falling Friday and Saturday. Important things to note with this. This is going to be a very heavy and wet snow. So what does that mean for you folks at home that are wondering? It's going to be a pain to move. It's going to be heavy. If you get a lot of snow, make sure you clean it off your roof because we're not looking at a substantial warm-up in the forecast. So it's going to take time for it to melt. And as that happens, that's going to cause the snow to be even heavier as the water content increases as it compacts and melts. So if you get this large amount of snow, make sure you clear your roof off so that you don't have any areas or concerns with that. So as far as kind of seeing if I can't zoom in here on the map, we'll go ahead and zoom in. You can see Watertown, we are in that 30 to 46 inches of snow possibility. Probably going to be more around that 30 to 40 inch range. Fort Drum, the same with you. We're expecting that 30 to 40% or 30 to 40 inches of snow. As far as the bullseye of this, it's going to be Rodman, the town of Pinckney, the town of Rutland, Copenhagen, Champion, and over towards Carthage, where we see the brunt of the snow with this lake effect system, expecting 40 inches, if not more. Some of our computer model data is indicating that we could see over 50, maybe even 60 inches of snow this weekend. And as I always like to say when it comes to lake effect snowstorms in November like this, don't sleep on them. They will surprise you. They're typically more intense than what you think. Think back to 2 years ago in November of 2022 when we had that snowstorm. Originally we were thinking maybe upwards of 40, 46 inches of snow, and we ended up with 80. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time, but if it does, I would not be surprised because it's a lake effect snowstorm in November. The lake is still very warm, and all the ingredients are going to be there. The good thing that's going to help us with it, though, is it's going to be moving around more, so it's not going to stay nearly as stationary as it did 2 years ago. So as we move along up towards the river here in Jefferson County, Clayton, I think about an inch or less, maybe a little bit more than that, but generally not much more than an inch, I don't think, because I don't think the lake effect snow stays on top of you that long. Cape Vincent, same thing as far as over towards Alexandria Bay. I'm thinking about the same. If you're in Theresa or Antwerp, we're looking at 10 to 20 inches of snow. Over towards Gouverneur in St. Lawrence County, we're looking at that 5 to 10 inches. Probably going to be a little bit more than that if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm just not quite confident enough to say, Gouverneur, you're going to get that 10 to 20, but I do think that you end up with at least 10 inches of snow, if not more. So a significant lake effect snowstorm is going to impact you in Gouverneur as well. As far as Ogdensburg up towards Messina, Waddington, Norfolk, those areas, notice not expecting much of anything for you. Most of this lake effect snow should stay to your south. And then as we kind of get towards southern St. Lawrence County, we can see that Star Lake, you are expecting at least probably about a foot of snow. I would say this, what I have here is probably actually a little bit too low for you. Probably going to see a little bit more than 10 inches. Colton, 5 to 10, I think is a good bet. As you get over towards Fine and Fowler in St. Lawrence County, we're talking about the potential for that 10 to 20 inches, if not a little bit more. And then Harrisville in northern Lewis County, we're talking about that 20 to 30 inches. As we get over towards Natural Bridge, we're talking 30 to 46. And then some folks are asking about Redwood. Redwood, you're going to be on that line there for the 5 to 10, maybe 10 to 20. It's going to be a close call for you. It depends on how far north the band of lake effect snow can get. As we get down into the heart of Lewis County, Lowville, you're going to be the tough spot to forecast for, as normal. We are talking about the possibility for Lowville of seeing 10 to 20, I think is a good bet as you get towards the Tug Hill. As you get down into the valley, of course, snowfall totals will drop down substantially compared on the Tug Hill Plateau. Up towards, say, Denmark, we are talking about the potential for that 20 to 30. Over towards Krogan, you're probably going to be seeing that 5 to 10 inches. I would say is a good bet for you, but then going up substantially as you go north towards Harrisville on 812 there. Going down south towards Martinsburg, Turin, you're not going to be seeing nearly as much, probably 1 to 5 inches in the lower elevations of the Black River Valley down towards Turin. And then as you get up onto the hill, of course, snowfall totals will increase quite a bit. So on the Tug Hill Plateau, we could be talking about, say, 20 or 30 inches of snow up that way and then dropping down quickly to 1 to 5 inches. And then southern Jefferson County, Adams, once again, a difficult call. So I'm thinking right now Adams probably going to be closer to that 30 to 40 inch range there. So we would put you in the 30 to 46 inches potentially. Watertown the same. Over towards Henderson, Sackett's, Ellisburg, we're going to say 10 to 20 inches. Of course, depending on where this lake effect snow band sets up, could drop substantially. Brownville, 10 to 20 as well. Saw someone asking about Hammond. Hammond, you're probably going to be 1 to 5 inches, depending on how long that lake effect band sets up over you. Going over some of the details with this lake effect snow event, we are talking about this starting, getting organized Friday morning. So early Friday morning, things start getting organized. The majority of the snowfall, like I said, will fall on Friday and Saturday, but lake effect snow continuing as we get into Monday. And snowfall rates, as of right now, will be at least, key word there, at least 3 inches an hour, potentially more and higher than that as we get into the heart of the lake effects band as we go from Friday into Saturday and lasting throughout Saturday. That's when we're expecting such large amounts of accumulating snow here across the North Country, especially in Jefferson and Lewis counties and extending into St. Lawrence County. Thunder snow is a very high probability with this as well, so you're probably going to see some thunder snow, probably some grapple mixing in with the snowflakes at times because our temperatures are going to be very marginal at best, and that's why this is going to be a very heavy wet snow. So what I'll do is kind of, here in just a second, we'll come back to me with a snowfall map back behind me. That way we can walk through it a little bit more and answer some of your questions that you have as far as the snow is concerned. So here we are, we're back on me it looks like, and going through some of your questions here, going through both the 7 News page and my personal page. Someone's asking about Theresa. Theresa, I think you're going to see right around 10 to 20 inches of snow, depending on how far north that band gets. And the important thing to know, too, when we're talking about these snowfall ranges, you can get anywhere from that 10 inches to the 20 inches or the 30 to 46. Just because it says that you're in the probability of potentially getting 46 inches of snow does not mean you're going to get 46 inches of snow. That is a range there, though, so it's possible for you to get anywhere within that. Someone's asking about the possibility of power outages because of the heavy snow. I'm not that concerned with power outages because it's looking very minimal as far as impacts are concerned there with the snow, and winds will be gusting around 30 miles per hour at times. Chris is asking, what about Adams Center, 40 inches? Adams Center, that's probably a good bet around that 30 to 46 inches. I don't think Adams Center sees more than 46. If we do see more than 46 inches of snow, I think it's going to be in that darker shaded area, which is a dark green, but some folks are seeing it as maybe a bit of a very dark purple or maybe a black. Someone's asking, seriously, how did you get this, get so awesome? It's called a lot of schooling. A lot of school. Going through some more of the comments, seeing what we have here. If you have any comments, go ahead and ask those. Someone's asking about Evans Mills to Watertown and Philly. We'll be getting a lot, I think 10 to 20. Of course, jumping way higher than that once you get closer to the city of Watertown. Is Perch River in the 30-inch range? Perch River, I think you're more of that 20 to 30, probably on the lower end of that, maybe around 2 feet of snow for Perch River. Fort Drum, very popular question. Fort Drum, I think you're going to see 30 to 46 inches of snow. And for all of you that are new here to the North Country and you're seeing all of these advisories and watches and warnings and things like that, I'm getting a lot of questions about, can you explain what that is? So a watch means we're watching the conditions that this is likely. So the National Weather Service issued a winter storm watch a couple days ago for this. It's since been upgraded to a lake effect snow warning. That means that this will happen. We are going to see lake effect snow. As far as an advisory is concerned, it's more of one of those things that's saying, hey, you probably should be aware of this, but it's not going to be a big deal. This storm, I think it's going to be very impactful for several of us as we're expecting a very large snowstorm, especially as this is probably the first accumulating snow for us. Here in the city of Watertown, we haven't had accumulating snows yet this season. Adams, I know we haven't had an accumulating snow down there yet this season, and up towards the river communities haven't either. Tuck Hill has had at least a little bit. Going through some more of your comments. Someone's asking about Sunday, Monday morning. The lake effect is going to be shifting south by that point, getting down towards central New York, where it's going to last off and on probably as long as Tuesday night. So this lake effect will get going here on Friday morning, so late tonight, and lasting coming off of Lake Ontario in different locations going into Tuesday night, if not Wednesday morning, as another system gets here closer to us. Still looking at some of the questions. A lot of you folks are asking the same question that I've answered already. So if you see this live and I haven't answered your question and I don't answer your question, I would recommend going back and watching it again, because more than likely I have answered your question or become very close to it. And someone says, can you give TJ Reeves a shout out? There's your shout out. What about Southern Lewis County, Osceola, and West Leyden areas? Osceola, I think you're in that 5 to 10, maybe a little bit more depending on how far south this band gets. But I do think that right now I have a pretty good handle on where I think it's going to set up, and my confidence is fairly high with this, especially speaking as far as lake effect snow is concerned. St. Lawrence County, once again, you are currently not under any type of warning or advisory for the lake effect. Today there is that winter weather advisory, and that's for accumulating snow today during Thanksgiving. Maybe upwards of 4 inches of snow. Already seeing accumulating snow on the Tug Hill Plateau. So all of this that falls this weekend in the form of lake effect will be on top of it. Jefferson, Lewis, and Oswego counties are under a lake effect snow warning. Like I stated at the beginning of this live, I would anticipate St. Lawrence County, portions of St. Lawrence County also being added to a lake effect snow warning as we get closer to tomorrow morning. So that winter weather advisory that's in place will probably get switched over to a lake effect snow warning, because as you can see, upwards of 20 inches, if not more, is possible to fall in portions of St. Lawrence County. People are asking about travel. As I've said a couple of times, when it comes to travel, I will give you the forecast, but I'm not going to make your decisions for you. I don't want that burden of something happening and then I'm guilty for it, but I'll give you the forecast and you can make your decisions based off that. Someone saying perfect weather to put up the Christmas decorations. If you're wanting to do it in 30 inches of snow, sure. I would prefer to do it when it's nice and sunny outside. Looking through some more of your comments here. Also shout out, I see John Kubis is watching as well. He's getting ready. He will be updating you this afternoon. So I'm here till about noon, and then John Kubis comes in this afternoon. He's going to keep you updated as well with the latest thinking and findings that he's looking at. But we have discussed the forecast, and I kind of tweaked what he had last night, and this is what we kind of come up with this morning. So his forecast should be pretty much similar, if not the same, as what I have. But he will be looking at new model data once he comes in this evening. Someone's asking if I don't recommend going to Turning Stone. If you can stay home this weekend, I would say stay home. How does this storm compare to the November lake effect snowstorm of 2022? That's a good question, because we have been comparing it to that. It's going to be a lot similar to it as far as the duration. It's considered a long duration event, but the majority of the snow is going to fall in a short amount of time. It's going to come down very heavily, and it's going to add up very quickly, and it's going to be very heavy and wet. So it's going to rival that storm, but I do not think that we exceed it. That's the important thing. With that storm, we had upwards of 80 inches of snow in Natural Bridge and Harrisville. I don't think we see that. That's the good thing. Looking through some more of your comments here, seeing if there's anything that I have not gotten to just yet. Someone's asking about Clayton. Clayton, you're going to be on the verge of it, probably around 1 to 3 inches for Clayton, depending on how far north that band moves. How much for Old Forge? Old Forge, by the time you get out towards the Adirondacks, totals are going to drop off quite a bit. The greatest accumulation for the Adirondacks from the lake effect snow looks like it's going to be to the north of north of Old Forge toward southern St. Lawrence County. It looks like a lot of the comments are starting to kind of die off here. Let me ask someone who's helping me. Ashley, are there any comments on YouTube? Ford drum, like I've said multiple times, because I know a lot of you are worried as you're new here to the North Country. Ford drum is expecting that 20 to 30 inches, if not more, probably that 30 to 46 actually, to be honest with you. It's going to be a lot of snow for Ford drum, especially if you're not used to it. But you'll notice that come Monday morning, after the majority of this has fallen, it's back to normal. And then we just drive around and kind of deal with the snow that's out there.
We got one more. Someone says, we unfortunately will be traveling back this weekend. How can we keep track of the road conditions, and do you foresee them banning travel?
As far as travel bans, here in the North Country, they typically, since I've been here for 6 years almost, I have not seen a lot of that, but travel advisories will probably be issued. In the heart of the ban, it's possible that they issue a travel ban, but that's hard to say because I'm not the one that makes that call, but it is certainly possible. Someone's asking about Smithville. I think Smithville is going to get 10 to 20. I think you're going to be on a big cutoff there. And another thing that we're going to be watching with this system is the wind. If the wind is more we have more wind directional shear, should I say, then we're probably going to cut down on some of these totals, and that would be a good thing for us. Yeah, so hopefully we can get a little bit of directional shear that kind of helps break up the lake effect for us and limits the amount of lake effect that we see. That also moves the snow band around for us. I've been on here close to 30 minutes now, I believe. So if I'm not seeing any more urgent or important questions that are coming through, I think that might be good. Someone's asking about thunder snow once again. Thunder snow is a very good possibility for us. I think that we do see thunder snow, especially Friday and Saturday when the majority of this is falling. So, to wrap up here, today for Thanksgiving, we just have the rain and snow that's out there, not a big thing for us at all. As we get into tonight and tomorrow, our lake effect snow starts getting going, and it becomes intense by Friday afternoon and lasting throughout the weekend. It is going to move around at times. Total snow accumulation on the Tug Hill Plateau around Rodman over towards Copenhagen to Denmark, Carthage, Rutland, Champion, probably going to be closer to that 40 inches or more of snow. So I think those locations do see at least 40 inches of snow. And once again, the majority of this will be falling Friday and Saturday, and then picking up additional accumulation as we go towards Monday as lake effect snow continues off and on. If you do have to travel during the lake effect ban, just make sure you take it slow and easy and heed the advice from your local officials. If they're telling you to stay home, if that is a possibility, then please do so. But other than that, we are expecting the lake effect snowfall. It's going to reach 3 inches an hour or more at times, and going to be very intense, especially for our first one of the season. So, of course, we're going to keep you updated here as we get towards noon on WWNYTV.com. John Kubis, once again, will be in this evening at 6 o'clock, keeping you updated. He will also keep you updated online as well, and our updates will continue tomorrow. So we're going to keep you updated all the way through this storm. Even though it's something that we're used to, we're still going to keep you updated. That way all of you are aware on what's going on. Have a happy Thanksgiving.